Yo, what's cracking, lacking, and stacking, everybody? We are back. We are blessed, and we are black. All right, thanks for tuning in. This is another perspective on www.intellectualradio.com. And we got some really cool things we're going to talk about today. And thank you, Sister D.S. Sanders. I already see you chiming in. To start things off, my name is Maurice Walls, a.k.a. Maurice Walls. And to my immediate left is my brother from another mother and probably possibly another father, too.
You feel me? You feel me? This is Ace the Real, IntellectualRadio.com. Another perspective, and we're about to get it crack-a-lacking on some good hot topics. So I'm going to pass the wing back over to Maurice Walls, a.k.a. Maurice Walls.
Absolutely. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is Black Panther. Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Hit him one more time with it.
You don't say nothing.
Black Panther. Check this out, guys. This hasn't even been a month, and this movie has already generated $1 billion from Wakanda.
You know what I'm saying? And just to add to that, I went to see it, and
you finally saw it, brother?
Oh, bro, I've been saw it.
Okay.
Man, listen, shit, what? Come on, man. Listen, I had to sneak in there to the Black Panther. I'm DuSable, baby. So you already represent the Panther. What you thought? So you know I'm going. That red and black ain't no joke, baby.
That's right.
But check it out. And I saw the promos and how they kicked it off. And when the movie first came on, you know, I saw subliminal messages.
Day long.
You know, if you go back in the Moors and all of that, back in Israel and parts of
that's right,
Africa.
That's right.
They always talk about the tribes.
Yes.
The 7 tribes.
Yes.
And when they seen all them shades of black, band hands. Now, what I liked about that is each tribe had an opportunity to fight legally to the death to be able to reclaim the throne, or get, and their people will be,
That's right.
And everybody, and the rule was everybody had to respect that.
Man,
because that means it's no love lost. We know. If this tribe, the Zulu tribe won, we have to honor the Zulu tribe until it's time for somebody to challenge. You know what I'm saying?
That's really deep.
But at the same time, what I liked about it, even when it was with them sisters, them strong sisters, man.
Woo, talk about it.
Spears, bro. Listen, even when they was battling, they still didn't touch each other. Yeah, they was on guard and they respected whoever was the king. And the messages into that is that when that wall, that big old mountain and all of them tribes, that showed me nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? So I'm geeked about the movie. You feel me?
Right. So it's totally the opposite of the wall that Donald Trump or Donald Slump wants to put up.
Yeah.
That's a wall of separation and hatred.
They see what I'm saying?
We had the wall of love in Black Panther.
In that order, man. And that's what trips me out, because at the end of the day, that's a subliminal message to us now.
Yes.
Put all the differences to the side. I don't care if it was, we got tribes in the street. You got the gangs, you got the sororities, you got the police, you got the, certain, what they call it, nonprofits. You know what I'm saying? You got different church, different this and a different that. But at the end of the day, the whole agenda is to ban hands and overthrow the evil and the injustices, what we got going on now.
That's all we got to do, baby. And one thing I really love about this is how it was able to dismantle the whole stereotype that Black people, once we're seen on cinema, that Black people can only be slaves, that Black people can only be pimps, and it's not here. Now check it out. This is what we're going to talk about. Now, there was a really good movie that came out a few years ago,
right,
featuring Denzel Washington. Now, everybody knows Denzel Washington is one of the best,
right?
And I believe the name of that movie was called Training Day, right?
Exactly.
And you notice how he won the Oscar award for Training Day, and he won an Oscar award for Glory,
right?
But he didn't win an Oscar award for Malcolm X or win an Oscar award for John Q. Because the thing about it is, here's the thing I like about Black Panther is it was able to dismantle those ideals that black people, once we get on screen, we can't be super, they would say to black people, we can't have an all black superhero film. It's just not going to work.
Right.
We got to have black people who are slaves,
Right.
like 12 Years a Slave, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have black people, Rosewood. We got to have black people that are drug dealers.
Yep.
Or
murderers, rapists, serial killers, the whole nine.
Or if we have black people on the screen, it's got to be one white savior. The thing I like about this particular movie is that you see black superheroes, a black country, a black power operating completely independent of a white supremacist government. Right. And all the black people were heroes, and all of them were powerful, and all of them stood together in brotherly love.
Exactly. And then you see how they orchestrated it into today's life.
Absolutely.
The little young brother saw the ship in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Absolutely. So that was a powerful message.
They put, and basically, if you look at the pyramids, that's exactly what it was. In the years of the pyramid, they showed you that they had an alien contact. You know what I'm saying? They showed that we was able to elevate in the air.
That's
they
deep.
showed us that it was all types of tribalism, but at the same time they respected the code. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing as to right now. You respect your brother, you respect your sister. You instead of trying to put them down and bad talk them and gossip about nothing, won't you go in there and uplift? Listen, sister girl or brother, man, I don't know you from Adam and Eve, sister. I don't know you from Adam and Eve, but I don't care if you was the biggest hoe on the street or you was the biggest drug dealer. I just want to let you know I love you because you my brother. That's it.
Hey, Dan, that's what we need. And that's one thing I know is that Black Panther is really doing is elevating the social conscious of black people. Now, of course, we hear some debates about that. Some people are saying, well, it took a fictional comic book film to do this. No. You got to understand. This is not fictional because there were plenty of countries in Africa who defeated colonialism, who were never colonized, who operated solely outside of white supremacy. And all this movie is showing is that black people can be superheroes. Black people are not all enemies. We're not all drug dealers, because all throughout history, the history of Hollywood, black people have always been viewed as subservient, slaves, drug dealers, monkeys, savages.
Yes.
And this movie,
heartless people.
And this movie completely neutralized that whole concept, crushed it, dismantle it. You dig? Wakanda for life.
And during the troubling times of what we got going on in our own government, that was it was a slap in dude face. That remember his campaign, he had said that black people, what you got to lose? We got a whole lot to lose if we sell out to you.
Hello.
You see what I'm saying? So that movie actually put inspiration into the love of black folk.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
and it got some brothers and sisters put on financially too.
Oh yeah, no, well, not really, because I did the background on that. A lot of them didn't get $1 million. No, Angela Bassett didn't get $1 million.
No, I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the brothers and sisters in the movie,
right?
No, I'm talking about the brothers and sisters who own their own businesses.
Oh, because of them,
It's a few businesses like in New York. Sorry about the juicy gospel here.
Don't worry about
it. In New York and other places, a couple places on the East Coast, right here in Chicago, maybe a couple places in the Southwest. Mm-hmm. Their sales have increased due to the fact that the Black Panther coming out, they started to increase their sales in like kente cloth and dashikis and different things like that.
Even though even Brother Wright's church, he always been an African centric type of a church, Christian church. So that didn't do nothing but elevate that to another one. My church, Reverend T.L. Barrett Life Center on 55th in Michigan, his attire was Afro. I ain't gonna say Afrocentric, I'm gonna say African attire. I
Brother,
said,
you know that you fellowship that church?
yeah.
My favorite soul food restaurant is right across the street from there, Miss Lee's.
Yeah, that's my church. Reverend
Yeah.
Tail Bear, I've been knowing him before he even got that church when he was on Lafayette. So,
All right.
but to see the outpouring love that the people, black folk, the shades of brown, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying,
Yes.
actually band it together instead of coming in there half naked with hot pants and see-through leggings.
Right.
They actually was dressing like the queen and kings that they were.
Yes.
And see, that's when the world is starting to give our black actors their respect.
Absolutely.
And then, I even tried to test a few brothers on the street that sell bootlegs. I said, can you give me that bootleg CD, a Panther, a Black Panther? He said, man, we ain't bootlegging that.
Right.
They said, that's one movie you got to go to show. You got to pay.
That's
They
right.
said, they say they refused to bootleg that. They could have. Maybe after maybe 6 months they might do it because people, want to keep reoccurring. But right now the bootleggers even giving the respect to the movie industry, black movie industry, and people that plays in it, and giving them they respect that we ain't gonna even bootleg that. We want them to get all that money. And then the man that wrote it was black.
That is a lot of love and a lot of respect, man. And it like I said, it really changes the view of black people on a global, worldwide
Before we go any
scale.
further with that, we're gonna go to commercial, and then after commercial, we'll wrap it. Come up out of that to the next subject.
Absolutely. So we're going to commercial break, guys. A lot of love and a lot of respect.
Hey,
Brother Carl.
hey.
Yo, what's cracking, lacking, and stacking, everybody? We are back, and welcome to another segment of Another Perspective on www.intellectualradio.com. Yes, the dynamic trio is in the building. Usually we're the Fantastic Four, but Brother Kareem couldn't make it today. So to my immediate right, you guys already know who I am. Know who Brother Ace is, but look who's in the building.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Chris Davis, aka Smooth Cuts, the tightest barber. Keep your fade right and tight. I just want to say I'm blessed to be here. I was trying to pick up Kareem, but even though he's going to be here with us in spirit, so it's a pleasure to be here with you gentlemen on Another Perspective. So people leave your comments and words down at the bottom, and so that way we can read your list of what you have to say. What's going on, cousin? Hey, Katrina. And just saying hey to everybody.
Right.
All right, so let's get the topic going. What we discussed about.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so we're just going to touch a little bit more on Black Panther before we segue into our next segment,
Yes.
which Brother Ace is going to kick off. So this is the last thing. This is my last perspective I want to offer on it, and maybe Chris, if you want to chime in, brother Smooth Cuts, how Black Panther has managed to change just the whole look. Because remember what I initially told you guys, that imagery, one of the things that cinema has done historically, it has continued to perpetuate stereotypes against Black people. So we have all these stigmas attached to us, and that's from all the, how. Sorry, and it comes all the, the stereotypes and stigmas that are attached to it from white Hollywood, and that's just to denigrate us, to keep us down, to keep us in subservient roles and positions. But what Black Panther has managed to do on a worldwide, on a global scale, is to completely dismantle those ideals. So people, you don't have to embrace those ideologies anymore. And the beautiful thing is there are going to be other movies coming after Black Panther that is going to lay the foundation and the groundwork. Well, I'll put it like this: Black Panther set everything up, but there's going to be other movies coming immediately afterwards that's going to continue this new uprise, this movement of changing the image of African Americans. We don't have to be pimps and hustlers and drug dealers and whores and prostitutes and all this other crazy stuff and slaves in these movies. Now we're going to show warriors and kings and prince, things that we originally are. You know what I'm saying? And there's a movie that's coming up. I think it's I don't know the title of it yet. Matter of fact, I take that back. I think it's called Mother King or Queen King or something like that, or Woman King. Woman King. It's going to star Lupita Nyong'o. How do you pronounce her name? And the ladies in Black Panther, and also
the chick with the
the
spear.
Yeah, the beautiful chick.
Yeah,
and they all beautiful. Yeah, and then there's another beautiful sister named Viola Davis. They're going to be in this movie called Woman King, and it's based on the tribal. These are like African warrior queens who fought against the French. So it's something that they're working on. It's going to be presented. It should be presented by next year, towards the end of next year. So please Google that so you can get all that information. Brother Chris, before we segue into Brother Ace's segment, what exactly would you like to add, something to offer a perspective? We were just talking about Black Panther and its impact on elevating Black social consciousness.
Well, I can give a little brief repertoire about what I think of my
repertoire
of the Black Panther. Well, now it was told that it was reached to $1 billion.
Yes,
am I correct?
Absolutely.
So
last month.
How about this? If we as Black people can come together, I'm gonna do a little compare. Let's do I'm gonna throw a boomerang on this one. Mm-hmm. What got me going? If we could support the Black Panther movie, it's this Canadian rapper that really touches me, the Drake.
Yes,
Drake, with this video of God's plan.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
So you mean to tell me that you get to? I'm sorry, resume that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. You get to a Canadian guy to donate almost $1 million to the fire department, the police department, giving away $50,000 scholarships, and you give away some free stuff to the kids. And it takes a Canadian guy to do all that, and we can't even touch bases on other people to say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Okay, what do you elaborate? What do you mean?
Like the comparison of Black Panther and the video with Drake. Mm-hmm. So we can support the movie.
Okay.
Of how it's building the budget, and it takes one man to do something extravagant in Miami.
Okay. All right. That's interesting right there.
Yeah. So like that same thing like in Chicago. I mean, we have a lot of money that we can build upon, but it's hardly no support into the Black industry. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay. So you're taking it from a different angle. Okay. Yes. That's cool. All right. So well, you heard it from Brother Chris, aka Smooth Cuts. Now, like I said, if you haven't seen the movie yet, Black Panther, please go out and see it. And
it's a good movie.
And if you have seen it, go see it twice. None of that bootleg stuff.
I might go see it again.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a nice little transition into another one. It's not nice. Actually, this is actually very disheartening. And Brother Ace is going to touch base on this. We were talking about the Laquan McDonald situation and the officer Van Dyke, the one who murdered. Not killed, murdered this young man in cold blood. So, Brother Ace.
Yeah, I've been following that case, and what's disturbing that his attorney wanted to get him out of Cook County venue and get him into another venue where it wouldn't be biased.
You're talking about the officer's attorney.
The officer's attorney.
Wow.
And actually the judge snapped. I don't think the judge actually granted that. They wanted the judge off the case.
Wow, really?
And change the venue. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel that he won't get a fair trial. How could you get a fair? It's self-evident. It's on camera. You can't change that. You can't filter it. You can't take back the bullets. You can't make him come back to life. You can rewind and see the seconds that he died. But at the end of the day, this man is sitting here. They saving his life. He walk around with a bulletproof vest.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And had a job.
No, one thing they did do is fire him. That okay. But I had a close encounter with him. I worked for a company, Hennigan Construction.
You had a close encounter with the cop?
I didn't actually have an encounter, but he was right in front of me.
Whoa! How was that experience?
My blood was boiling. I'm a rebel. I was ready to hit him in the head with a shovel quick and throw him in that pit. But I had to think about where I was at, because he was right there at the in the West Loop where the police basically the union.
The FOP.
The FOP.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was working for them as janitarian.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So right next to it was a plumbing company. A plumbing school that was being demolished because they had built another one. You know what I'm saying? So, I have to be up to set up safety, open up the water lines, get the pumps ready, early in the morning. He out there sweeping, throwing salt. It was snowing, paper everywhere. And I looked him in his face, and he was so spooked. I mean, he's pale, for real. He's pale because he know if he even walked the streets, he a dead man. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And my thing about that, I don't wish that for nobody. You hear the president talking about death penalty on drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? And here it is. You got white cops. You got the white government. You got the white governor. You got all these white folks that's in play that's setting this situation up for us to fail. You see what I'm saying? And you can get on television and say, kill drug dealers. Okay, how you demolish a drug dealer? Give him a damn job.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And let him and let him make union scale so he can feel good about himself. Because a person that's making $41.20 an hour and you getting paid every 7 days, he ain't trying to sell bags no more.
To get you guys to catch you guys up, what we're talking about the officer, just in case you're just chiming
exactly
in, the officer who murdered Laquan McDonald, Officer Van Dyke.
Right.
And what Brother Ace is talking about is how he had almost a physical interaction with this guy, almost an encounter with this guy. He's out here cleaning the streets or whatever in front of the FOP. And hold on one second, stop this. And how he had that how he had the encounter with this gentleman, and how Van Dyke is the attorneys, they're trying to prolong the case.
Yes, and the judge is heated, bro, because it's self-evident. I know you got to go through the paperwork, the due process, and all of that. You have to go through it. But he's trying to get out that he's saying that he fears for my life, or he had made a statement that McDonald walked towards him, and and you can see that he walked away. So you're not in harm's way if he's walking away. That means he ain't even directed to this is you.
He was actually walking away from
he was going towards the grassy area, and the man jumped out, didn't say freeze, he just boom 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 16 times. And you trying to get over and say not guilty?
To me, that's very
I'm gonna tell you something. This they not gonna make it as powerful as O.J. Simpson. Because this was a young black boy that got dreads, had saggy pants from the hood, didn't have the proper education, didn't have the father that he's supposed to have, and the mother trying to do both things, you know what I'm saying? And she got other siblings, whatever the case may be. They not gonna publicize this all over the television because that, you know what? If they did this case like they did O.J. Simpson's case, do you know if they find out that this police is found innocent, you know how many white police is really in danger?
A whole lot.
Because you got people that will call in and say that, especially females, they so quick to run for females than they do a male. So, a female, oh, I'm getting raped. And you going down a dark block or in an alley. And here it is, you got them same AR-15s with the bunk stocks that y'all didn't put in the neighborhoods. Because if a 14-year-old boy can just go and make $400 in bunk stocks and AR-14s and 15s it's not expensive anymore. You can get hot one for $400 with murders on it. Who cares? Because once they whack you, you think some might keep it because they dumb, because they don't know how to get rid of the evidence. But the point I'm trying to make is, if this case go to the point where this man is found not guilty, it's gonna be an uproar, bro, and it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed. It's gonna be an inner city war.
Yeah. So when is the case of that? Like when
it's supposed to be coming up real soon by the summer. I know it's supposed to be. I didn't get into that.
And that's taking too long,
right? And how long it's been? About what?
Since 2013.
No, it was more than that.
No, it was before 13, bro.
No,
I'm talking about when he was initially shot and killed was in 2013. No, it's been 5 years.
No, it was in 2015.
No. When he was shot and killed. No, that was in 2013.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, so
they haven't just showed it in 15.
Right, because you remember it was going through the debate.
Okay, now I remember. I remember.
Because that was a tape that they hid.
Right, okay. And it was a journalist who broke that case.
Yeah, because I've been to a lot of meetings where Black Men United in Peace, Hood Hope, Inglewood Inc., a lot of our, nonprofits, we did a big meeting.
Yeah.
We even had Fran Hampton Jr. there, the mother there. It was like a family affair. And I remember they was working with the guy, the journalist, that was trying to put in the lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? And then, it was in 2013 and they hid it. The same place I saw.
I didn't know about that.
Yes.
So, bro, that's something new to me.
Anita Alvarez, I'm going to tell you something, boy. If they ain't destroyed them, boy, it's a lot of stuff that's on camera, man, that these brothers is in jail for, committing crimes that they didn't commit. They was found guilty for crimes they didn't commit. And before they can go and put it in on an appeal, they got to be there 5-10 years first. Because you got to go through the necessary paperwork. You don't have no money. Your name is just like a Section 8 list.
Right.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the same time, you have to go through that paperwork and then you have to stay cool in jail and wait for you to get some type of paperwork. Yeah, you can call them all day. The inmate can call them. But it's up to the Supreme Court if they want to listen to that case.
And another crazy thing about this whole injustice system, I call it the American injustice system, is how when something happens like this to an African-American brother, especially a brother who's unarmed, or in this case, had a small knife, but he really wasn't a threat. There was a different way they could have counteracted the threat. But how when these cases get resolved, quote unquote resolved, the type of settlements they get.
Yeah.
$1.5 million, as if that's equivalent to the life that was just innocently just snuffed out.
It should be way more.
And they tried to get a lady some hush money. $5 million, shut up and go on here about your business. He gone,
Which goes back to the case of the little girl that lost her life at the hotel. Are they opening the case back up for that?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that right now. I was just involved with
Laquan McDonald.
the Laquan McDonald case, but I have been watching that closely. And yeah, Monifa, and they found other tapes that came out that the police, Rosemont police, was trying to hide, and filtered a lot of stuff, and you know the wounds on the body. Her ankle was broke.
Oh my goodness.
You know, they found out her ankle was broke. She had saliva and semen on her. That little drip on her stomach was actually semen. You know what I'm saying? And the way she was positioning and all of that, you know, if a person is just down a hypothermia, they're gonna be in a corner shaking and getting naked and stuff, you know, because they cold. They're not gonna be all over.
Back on.
Yeah,
all of a sudden. That's a mystery.
And then
that's an outrage.
Yeah, but so that's that. But just to close out on the young brother that got killed,
Laquan McDonald.
Yes, sir. And it's a shame that we have to go through all this to get justice. And when you have a president that's telling you that he's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a womanizer, he's a rapist, he's all of this, and
then some,
and then some, and then
the list goes on.
And you giving these white racists and some of these lobbyists the right to disrespect, a right to be racist. Here it is, you sweatshirt Obama, what Obama did do and what you trying to take away. You make yourself look like an idiot. And all, like I said before in the last show, all you black folks that voted for Donald Trump, how you feel now? You know?
Right. Modern day slave plantation. They call this so I've heard one brother call it the United Snakes
right.
of America, because all it is just a modern day slave plantation, everything. I mean, if you look at the prison system, you look at the injustices that continue on, if you look at the racial tension, all the foolishness. And you know what? Someone told me that Donald Slump went to go see Black Panther. I wonder why he hasn't mentioned anything about Black Panther.
Because you know what? He just like he was so fond of the Planet of the Apes series. He thought we were just gonna be and color all on their face, but you seen beautiful,
that's right,
black people.
Absolutely.
You seen kings, you know.
And queen.
And I'm gonna tell you something, like, you know, I mean, subliminally, you know, white folks don't like to see the real truth about a African king, and because they go through too much to try to hide the truth, but at the same time, the truth is going to be self-evident, because when you question these people on how you create, they're gonna fumble, and it's gonna take one little black guy or female to say, no, you're wrong, I did it this way, you know. And you got black folks that's crossing each other for the dollar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you look at these high powerful people today, they will crush their own and step on their own just to get to that next level.
And that's the sad part about it. They like crush their own people, like you were saying, just to earn a spot. And that's the sad part. And it ain't getting them nowhere.
Well, that's that whole crabs in a bucket mentality. Hey, so that particular topic, we want you guys to chime in on. We were talking about the whole Laquan McDonald issue and how the lawyer for the murderer, Officer Van Dyke, or formerly known as Officer Van Dyke, is trying to prolong the case, and that's ultimately what he's doing, because what he's asking the judge if they can remove the case out of the state of Illinois, put it in a different state, another court, so he can quote unquote get a fair trial. But he didn't say that when he shot the boy 16 times. You know, maybe he should have been thinking about that stuff when he was going after the young man.
Side note. Let me just do this side note right before we shut that down.
Go ahead.
But at the same time, remember when the artistic boy and that lady got shot on the porch? Remember, he was artistic, he had the baseball bat.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you know the police had the nerve, the whoever they are, the union, tried to sue the family estate?
Get out.
The
Talking
American
about
injustice
it's mental
system.
anguish, and even the mayor. Now, this the only time I can give him kudos. He got on national television. He said that case was a bad mistake, and if you think I'm gonna let you sue the state of them people, they already hurting that they lost their family members, and you want to sue them. And the words that came out of his mouth, he basically gave a subliminal message to them to say shut it down. So the next day, what was that, IPO or whatever the case may be, dropped the whole suit,
Wow,
man,
that's
that was
deep.
kind of crazy. But yeah, we can go. I don't know how much time we got, Earl, because I don't want to. Huh? 10
10
minutes.
minutes. Okay, so for the last portion of the show, we could spend a good 6 minutes on this before we give some closing thoughts.
Right.
I was thinking, did you have something you want to talk about? Because I have something to talk about.
Well, how about in the sports when the white reporter was mentioned about LeBron James and Kevin Durant, especially LeBron James saying shut up and dribble. And that right there kind of, with the segue of how their response was. See, LeBron, I know a lot of people might hate him or love him, but he's a great role model to not just for sports, but in the community of what he's doing so far in for the young generation that's coming up. So that's what I believe, that LeBron sets an example, sets the bar example for other athletes, not just athletes, great role models to do better.
Absolutely. No, I absolutely agree with you. That reporter, she's way out of her lane. I don't know,
out of pocket.
I don't know if that was something she was just reading on the teleprompter or if that's something that actually came out of her heart, but she's way out of her lane. See, LeBron James is the type of guy at first. And once again, thank you guys for chiming in. This is another perspective on www.intellectualradio.com. LeBron James, I got a chance to meet the brother at the Sound Bar Club. This is a few years ago. Talk about a class act, a true gentleman. We talked for like 10 minutes before his arrogant and overtly aggressive bodyguard came over and broke that up. We were talking. I was about to give LeBron James a card, and he just basically just broke it up. At any rate, LeBron James is trying his best to carelessly live the spirit of Muhammad Ali. See, when Muhammad Ali was on the scene, he not only fought in the ring, he also fought outside the ring. So he was knocking out opponents in the ring, but outside the ring, he was knocking out the opponent of racial injustice, of racism. He spoke heavily against the government going into the Vietnam War. And brothers and sisters, you guys can YouTube this stuff and Google it. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a very outspoken individual.
Great role model.
Right. A great role model. It was a rebel. It was a leader. It was a warrior. And that's the one thing I like about LeBron James. He's just trying to vicariously live through the spirit of Muhammad Ali. So that reporter is way out of pocket. And it is athletes and entertainers have a job. Their job is not just to entertain people. They are put in a position of great power, and they're put in a position to create and impart change and hope on people's lives. So just to go out there and make $50-60 million a year, that's just not enough. When you have the opportunity, you can impact people's lives.
Absolutely.
You can create businesses. You can create wealth. You can encourage young African American brothers and sisters to generate wealth in their communities. And I know to some of our white audience members and even our Latino members, I know some of you all may think, well, you only focus on, there's African Americans, but you got to understand the reason why we focus on African Americans, because we are still being victimized by, and I'm not calling us victims,
but stereotype as well.
But we're still being victimized by this system of oppression. That's what Brother Ace was talking about. The system. Look at the American injustice system. How racial disparity. Well, a young man gets shot by the police multiple times for carrying a switchblade, and he was away from the police. And then I watched a video recently where the cop a man pointed a rifle at the cop, and all they did, it's a white guy pointed a rifle, and all they did was tackle him to the ground. He wasn't shot or anything. They just tackled him to the ground, talked to him, and then arrested him. I mean, if you're going to deal with a threat, that's how you counteract the threat.
What about all them people that they caught for bombs? They never killed them. They
elaborate. What are you
I'm talking about? People that set these bombs off for ISIS. And,
yes.
McVeigh and all of these type of cats.
Oh yeah, Timothy McVeigh.
All of these cats, they never killed them.
Right.
Domestic
terrorism.
They were right, domestic. But now they trying to, because you got little Bang Bang over there, and he ain't got no direction, and he just standing on the corner, or the man selling loose squares to eat. You know what I'm saying? And selling incense or even straws. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
You'll kill them because they black. But here it is, you got people,
threat to the society.
Right. But at the same time, you save these people, like the little boy that shot them, the school up. The school, 17 people died. And then they punk coward police, like, I ain't going in there. Get in their car, and they drove off.
Right, absolutely.
But here it is. They only got suspended, maybe got pushed away to another precinct, or you know what I'm saying. But you really look at it; these police really embarrassed the whole white community of that.
Absolutely. So athletes and entertainers definitely they have a responsibility to impart hope, to speak about the things that affect affecting our everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
I give it to Colin Kaepernick to this day, even though he hasn't been signed. I hope this brother, when he does get signed, I hope the day that he gets signed. And did you guys notice? We have 5 minutes left. Did you guys know this? The Baltimore Ravens were this close to signing.
Yeah, I remember
Colin Kaepernick until some military commander had the nerve to contact the coach and the management and say, "I don't think that's a good idea. You should stay away from that." How can a military commander contact a coach? Why would you contact a coach?
Because that's that secret society, right, man.
Yeah, I know.
You
but
see,
it
only takes a white person. And, and I'm gonna give it 30 seconds on this, just to give it Okay, me. I'm going through. I've been discriminated against, so I'm going through the Thompson Center. You know what I'm saying? Now the lady explaining to me what's the process. Well, after I gave her my deposition or whatever, she told me, well, the lady, the people that you're filing this grievance against is bringing their attorney. And I'm like, oh, they bring their attorney. They bring their attorney because they must know that they did wrong, discriminated against them.
Hello.
So now he's supposed to be a person that you think is going to scare me. He might get whooped. You know what I'm saying?
From a hood point.
That's my hood. He might get punched in the mouth. But at the end of the day, just to show you the comparisons, here it is, this white woman, you sat here and discriminated against me. Now, it's rules and regulations. You got to, regardless of what type of job, you got to have write-ups. You got to be this. You just can't fire a person on a dime.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So going through that, but that's just showing you the parallel of discrimination that's all around this city. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, everything is very systematic, the way they work together amongst themselves. So we just got to be cautious of what we have in action.
We got 3 minutes, man, and I want to throw little shots out for this next 3 minutes. We want to give uplifts and just let people know that we're going to be supporting Black businesses. We're going to be giving shouts outs to schools. Next week, I want all my Facebook followers and YouTube followers, whatever, I want y'all to shout out y'all kids' school and throw up the grades and let them know that we pronounce their name on the show, and we just give them their props. So we letting them know that we love you and keep up the good work.
I want to give a shout out to all the Black owned and operated businesses. There's this one particular business that I love. It's on 75th in Indiana. It's called Soul Veg. Love those brothers. I love the fact that you guys are encouraging people to eat the right foods. Eating healthy is a very significant part of just sustaining quality life. And there's another black-owned business on 18th and State, right down the street from the police station. But it's on 18th and State. It's called Akira's, and Akira's, if I'm pronouncing it right, excuse me if I'm butchering the name, but it's a pralines and cafe shop. Black owned and operated. How you doing, brother Muhammad? Give a shout out to you. And yeah, we just want to give a shout out to all the black owned businesses.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well.
And this brother right here, who's a barber.
Well, actually, I want to give out shout outs to all the barbers and the beauticians. Keep grinding, do what you do. You can't never, be discouraged because somebody tell you that you can't go further. Never give up on your dreams. Push forward and keep grinding. Never stop grinding. That's the only thing I can say about that.
Well, I'm Ace the Real on another perspective, IntellectualRadio.com. We signing off, and my boy,
I am Maurice Walsh, aka Maurice Walsh. Thank you for joining us on another perspective. And I want to leave you one final thought: live what you love.
And I'm Chris Davis, aka Smooth Cuts, the tightest barber in the game. I just want to say peace and love to everybody out there in Facebook land, in Chicago land. And I just want to say love, peace, and increase the love.
Or however fast you want to go, baby, my flow is everlasting.